We've got the 130 grain TTSX Barnes bullet here loaded with IMR 4350. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are going to be covering part one of this series on the Barnes bullets. Today we've got the 270 Winchester with the 130 grain TTSX and the 130 grain Nosler ballistic tip. I was told multiple times that the ballistic tip really isn't a good hunting bullet for big game like elk, but something more like the TTSX would be a better option. So today we're going to get out to the range. We're going to test that theory. We're going to see if the TTSX can, for one, just give us the accuracy that this 130 grain Nosler ballistic tip has been giving us, because it has been phenomenal. But let's get to the range, let's get at it, and welcome back. Now, for this testing, we are going to be using IMR 4350. It's a great powder for the 270 Winchester. You get a complete burn in those barrels that are 22 inches and clear up to 26 inches, whatever have you. But also, it's going to give us decent velocities. We should be right around 3,000 feet per second. That's where this rifle seems to be most accurate. But we'll get to the range and we'll take a look. So we've got both rounds loaded up here, the TTSX and that ballistic tip loaded with IMR 4350. They're both looking pretty good there. We'll get out to the range, like I said, and hopefully get some good groups. But I am hopeful that this TTSX will shoot sub-MOA at least. If not, I really hope it's comparable to this 130 grain ballistic tip. Anyways, we'll catch you guys out at the range. IMR 4350, Nosler 130 grain ballistic tip. 130 shot 2. 130 shot 3. We've got the 130 grain TTSX Barnes bullet here loaded with IMR 4350. Shot 1 with the Barnes 130 grain TTSX. This is the low load with IMR 4350. Okay, shot 1. Shot 2.
Oh, I've heard of it. So as kind of close to full auto as you really can get a sovereign citizen or whatever.
And then shot 3.
Here soon, which is a forced reset trigger. So it automatically puts the trigger back firing. So all you have to do is basically hold.
So like we said last time, this 130 grain Nosler ballistic tip is the point of reference that we've got for just the initial accuracy for this 270 Winchester. We had it loaded with IMR 4350, and we got a group size of 0.549 inches. That's on a 4-shot group there. And then an ES of 44 feet per second with an average of 3,020 feet per second. So really accurate load, super consistent velocities. That ES, it's a little bigger than we'd like to see, but overall for that group size, we can't really complain that much. So that first 130 grain TTSX load with IMR 4350 shot right around 0.686 inches with an ES of 46 and an average of 3,012 feet per second. So super comparable to that first load that we had. The group, it's a little bit bigger, but realistically from 0.54 to 0.68 isn't that much of a jump. So far this TTSX seems to be doing good. And then here we are, group 2 with the TTSX and IMR 4350. We're just under an inch, 0.92 with an ES of 15 now. That ES is awesome. Getting down here to the average velocity, we're 3,065 feet per second. So a little bit bigger group, almost double the size of those previous two, but ES is looking really good and velocity is looking good. So again, this would be a huntable load if I were to choose to use it. But when I have something like this or even like this, it's hard to kind of get away from those for something that's going to shoot a little bit bigger. So let's be real for a minute. Both bullets are shooting well under an inch. and both bullets are going with ample velocity to be able to get that expansion that we would like to see. So realistically, with my Tika T3X, we could use this Barnes TTSX, or we could use this Nosler ballistic tip. Both are going to give us devastating results on game like deer, elk. So realistically, it's up to you. Do you prefer something more fragmenting, something that's not going to hold together as much like this ballistic tip, or do you want something that is going to go in, get that deep penetration, break through bone like this TTSX? The option is really up to you, but in my opinion, I think both are a very viable, good option, especially in this rifle. So thanks for watching. Come back next time. Hopefully, we'll get some good results with the 6.5 Creedmoor.